Kyle Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube.
All right, we're back in the shop, part 2 of how to do a brake service. And we've spent a lot of time, Skippy and I, filming brakes over the course of the whole summer. And here we are again, and that's when I thought, in this part 2, you and I, whether you know a little or nothing about brakes, at least what you're going to learn again is the 5 things: what it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks or seizes up, gets loose or falls off, and how could you have avoided the additional expense. So I'm going to share with you just a real quick tidbit before we take another look at this 2008 Nissan Rogue that has just a little over 100,000 original kilometers. Was sent in by the owner to have it evaluated, estimated for services, estimate, right there, estimate. And we've blocked out the company because that's not my job, is to beat up another shop. My job is to go back over this vehicle and let's see where we stand. So we're going to talk about that in about 30 seconds. But here's something I want to talk to you about and maybe show you a little bit of math. Okay, a little bit of math. Let me get my trusted little marker here. And I think, if you're like me, I need to see a visual in order to go, yeah, that's not so good. Exactly. All right, I don't think I want to write on the back of that, so we will find, because it's going to bleed through. I don't want to do that. So I got something we can write on. This is the instructions for a carburetor. I have a ton of carburetor work to do. Let's see what we can come up with. We need a piece of cardboard. And you know what? It was recycling week, so the whole shop has been, the garbage goes out. So let me see what I can find to write on. I want you to see this math. All right, here we go. Nope, that won't work. This will. We've used this one before. If you want to take a look at the engine work on the Jeep right here, I wrote this out for you. Firing orders. So we just X that out. Today it's brakes. Today, brakes. Rear disc. Brakes. I was in a dealership, in a specific dealership this past week. I was really impressed with their waiting area, really impressed with information that they had set out, not only with snow tires coming up, winter tires. They had a nice display and explaining winter tires. And I look on the wall and I go, holy smokes, that's a great idea. So here's what they had. They had a board like this, and it was split, and it was a disc brake rotor and another disc brake rotor. We'll make that 4 studs, maybe 5, I don't know. And then it had a set of pads, then another set of pads, and over here had a set of pads, and a set of pads, and over here it had this, 24,900 kilometers. And on this side had 119,000 kilometers. Okay? So on this side, it said 24,900 kilometers, no service. So at 24,900 kilometers, the vehicle is getting a full brake job. Full brakes. That means pads, rotors, possible calipers at just shy of 25,000 kilometers. The other side shows 119,000 kilometers. First set of brakes. Service. Services done. What does that mean? Well, let me straighten this out for you. So without doing any brake service whatsoever, which I'm going to show you how to do it, 24,900 kilometers needs a full brake service. Not a service, replacement. Replacement. What is that? That's money. The other vehicle went 119,000 kilometers on the first set of brakes. So without a service, you're doing brakes every 25,000 kilometers. How much money is that over here? So every 25,000, you're doing a full brake job. This guy over here, one time at 119. So call that almost 5 brake jobs for you if you're not doing a brake service. 5. You're going to have 5 brake jobs done to this fella's 1 at 119,000 kilometers. So remember when I said I'm going to show you 5 things in every video? What it is, where it is, how it works, how it breaks, and how can you save time and money. Here it is. Do you want to pay for a brake job 5 times to this 1? Because you don't think it's worth the time, effort, and energy and money to have a tech go and do exactly what I'm going to show you how I do it and service the brakes. That's a lot of money, my friends, a lot of money. 5 brake jobs. So every 25,000 kilometers, you're getting a full brake job. For me in my house, every vehicle that's driven gets a brake inspection every 6 months. You go, well, you're a mechanic. Doesn't matter. You're a car owner. It's your car. You're in charge of it. So you can save up your pennies and do a brake job every 25,000 kilometers, or you can be me or this other fella here on the board in the waiting area of the dealership who did 1 brake job at 119,000 kilometers. This is smart. This one, I'm going to give it a question mark. You get to answer that one. That's what we're talking about today. A brake service saves you money. It's smart to do it. This is not smart. 5 brake jobs to 1. I don't know about you, but you know what? That's a lot of coffee and donuts, my friends. Okay, let's take a look at the Estimate that this vehicle, this 2008 Nissan Rogue, had prior to it arriving here at the Car Connection workshop. We're working on the rear brakes, and we're going to do that brake service together. I hope you got something out of that chart that shows you how important it is to have a brake service. It's money in the bank, folks. It really is. You're putting money, keeping the money in your pocket by doing that. But I go to the estimate, I don't even see any reference whatsoever to rear brakes on here. It just says brake inspection. Inspect brake material thickness and brake rotor thickness. Inspect caliper and wheel cylinders. Well, it's 4-wheel disc, so there are no wheel cylinders. Then it says road test vehicle, inspect steering system, inspect front end, rear suspension, inspect fluids, and inspect brakes. But then it goes on to say car was towed in, doesn't start, AC doesn't work, and brakes are bad. Well, how did they determine that? That's my question. Did they push the car around the parking lot? I don't know, but I'm not here to browbeat another shop. But it says right here, refrigerant leaks, recharge the AC system. Well, they haven't verified the concern. Is it working or it isn't? It wasn't running when they did this inspection. That's what that tells me. But anyways, here's what we do have posted on brakes. Replace front brake pads and rotors and service calipers. Now, this estimate was based on the customer wanting to sell the vehicle. What is it going to cost me to certify it? There's no information on here about rear brakes and the parking brake. The parking brake does not work. For a certification on Ontario highways, parking brake must hold the vehicle in drive and in reverse. It doesn't work. You can push the pedal. It's a push type. You push the pedal, it doesn't hold. So you're going to see why. And number two, there's nothing about rear brake service. There's nothing about how the rear brakes are doing. Nothing. Not a mention. So we're into the rear brakes, and yeah, there's issues there. And you're going to see that in just a moment. There's issues with the parking brake and with the rear disc brakes. So we're going to do a rear disc brake service. I'm going to show you how to do it so that you can do it yourself. You're going to need one of these. I've already mentioned it. It's a marker. You can also use a Sharpie. If you really need to, you could use a Sharpie. I just find the welding pen, you can get it in white or yellow. You can really see the marks. Sometimes I find with a Sharpie, it's not really clear. So if I look at something I've marked, I want to be able to see it. And I'll just show you an example, quick example of that. And this is a very popular video on our library. Look, you can see the marks clearly, quickly. Everything's lined up. Dot, 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 dot. We're on top dead center. And so that's what I like, is I can look and quickly see everything lines up. And that's why I like the welding marker. All right, let's head out to the zone. And I'm gonna just use hand tools today, just to show you how I'm gonna do it. I may come in and use the wire wheel just to do bolts, but you can use this. This can be your friend, and you can get a whole kit of these wire wheels to go in your drill, and you can visit the Prince of the Palace store. You get a kit, and it works good. Works good. The wire wheels are not too, they're not too aggressive, and they're not wimpy. Right, watch your head, Skippy. I got a nice stool for you to sit on and everything, and a butt pad. You're styling. You're styling. Question. I thought maybe somebody ran off with my kneeler here. This is a great tool. I already talked about that in the video. You'll have to watch the video for the cabin air filter. You really got to get on that. So this is your friend. Here's what I've done so far. Is before I undo the caliper in the saddle. This is the caliper. This is the saddle. It houses your brake pads. It houses your caliper. Just so that I know if I pull this rotor off, I want to put it back in exactly the same position it came off. So I mark the stud two ways. Mark which stud it is, and then I just double line it so I know I got to go back to that position to make sure everything is peachy, because we like peachy. Cobbler, that is. Vanilla ice cream. Hey, put your comments. What's your favorite dessert? We have some favorites. Skippy and I have some faves. Absolutely. And I always suggest, life is uncertain. Eat dessert first. There's no rules around the Car Connection Workshop. All right, first thing we're going to do is, I've already talked about this when we put our toolkit together, so that we're not spending time running in and out of the shop. oh, I need this thing and I need that thing. And then I got to go, oh, I forgot that. That's how I load my basket. I'd rather have more than I need in my basket so that I don't have to tisket a trasket. I got my tool basket. All right, so anyways, if you didn't like that, then stay in the closet. We like to have fun. And if you don't like to have fun, that's okay. Stay in the closet. All right, 17 mil is what we're, I think I got my, my head caught on the caliper saddle. This is the saddle. We got to get that off so we can take the rotor off and have a look at other stuff in behind there. So I like to take that off because I like to clean it separately. So what I do is I snap this on here, and you got to find the right clock position so you can get a really good shot at the bolt. And I don't put my air tools on here because, man, I got some rust proofing spooge on my shirt. So I use my bar, and I've already cracked these free just so you know, or I can look really strong. Watch this. He gets it. That's right. So once you crack both of these free, then you're good to put the tools, the air tools, or if you have a impact gun, electric impact gun, put it on then. But do not put the air tools on before you crack this. And I've done that practice for years because one time I did break a saddle bolt off, and let me tell you, what a stinking project that turned into. So again, I already pre-loosened those. Get yourself one of these Johnson bars. Get a good one because that's your buddy. Trust me, that's your buddy. So now I have those loosened. Now I can go in, and if you don't have the power tools to use, you know what? It's not a big deal to do it by hand. Trust me. Same with here on the caliper. We can loosen the caliper. It's a little cool here today, isn't it, Skippy? Gads, man, I should have wore my snow pants. So you see what's happening here already? The boot is turning. That tells me there's not enough lubrication in there. Now it's just freed up a little bit. So we're going to take those bolts out, and yeah, I need my little container. Let me just skip around you there, Skippy. I'll take the long way. I'll tell a story while I'm walking around the other side of the car. Yeah, once upon a time in Fort Erie, Ontario, they gave away free ice cream bars. No, they didn't. I lied. We need our little container, our mushroom containers, because we need to what? We need to make sure all the parts we pull off of this side, the driver's side rear, all the pieces go into our container. Keep yourself organized. That's one of your best friends. Trust me. Stay organized. That way you don't have bolts. You don't walk and kick your bolts all over the place, because that is just wrong. Did I say? Oh, well, don't worry about that toe. You have another one. Don't worry about it. It's all right. It's all right. Here we go. And have a shop towel ready. See, I got the wheel nuts in here. I have the cap for adjusting the rear park brake. But before we go ahead and adjust it, we need to know that we have one. You know what I'm saying? You need to know it doesn't work. Why is it not working? That's the question we have to answer. And we're going to do that on the other side of the car. So you're getting a double whammy today. So we're trying to get these bolts out. They seem to be turning all right. Somebody put some blue Loctite on them. Oh, that's happy. Yeah, blue Loctite on there. I don't have to do that. I've never done that before in my life. You know, if it's a steering suspension component, perhaps. So let's see. Get that out of there. That's tight. So that's where, remember I said get a punch and a marteau, because I just need to give that a little help. That knowing that that's stuck, you wait till you see what happens when that pin is stuck. They put enough stuff on there. Now always make sure, sometimes you can have two pins. You see what's different here? This one has a clip on the end and it's shorter, and this one does not. It has a flat spot and this one does not. So where did that one come out of? It came out of the top, not the bottom. So you can't mess that up. See that? They're almost the same length, but this one has a clip on the end, this one does not. Let me wipe it and show you. Pay attention to those things, because this is where when you put it back together, you're going, I don't know, man. Do you know? I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention. Somebody has to pay attention, because not all caliper bolts are the same. There you go. See what I'm talking about? Two different caliper bolts. This is the top one right here. That's the one I had to tap out because it has a clip that holds it in, and I'll tell you why. Because you don't always have to take caliper off. This one you will loosen and you flip the caliper up to get the pads out. But in this case, we're doing a thorough job. We want to make sure all pins are working, and we're going to clean these threads. So here's how you can do it by hand. The handy dandy Moulinex. It slices, it dices, it makes julienne fries. No, it doesn't. Just rotate this and hang on to it. You don't have to go fast, and you can just clean this right up right at the site. And you don't have to go back in the shop. There you go. It's clean. Done. Do the next one. Just clean the threads. Make sure the pin's nice and clean, because you're going to re-lubricate that anyway. There we go. Threads are clean. That's all you need to do. Bing, bang, boom. That's a hand tool. And it's just a wimpy little cordless drill I have in the shop. Actually that thing's been really good. I shouldn't beat it up too much. It's been pretty good. Okay, and I'm getting my handy scraper, screwdriver, punch, pry bar combination cheap screwdriver. You know what you do? You grab a handful of these. It's actually a Stanley. And you go to a garage sale, grab some screwdrivers that are just going to be beaters and put them in your toolbox. Okay, so we're going to just hang that up there. This is a caliper. And what happens in the caliper business is when you press the brake pedal, the piston comes out. So there's a push-pull effect that happens. So the piston comes against, where's my light? Piston comes against the inboard pad, and it pushes and it pulls the outside pad towards it. So there's push, pull. Now you're going to see something really interesting. This is where the cha-ching comes in, where it's costing you money not to do a brake service. You ready for this? Before I even pull this out, Skippy, get right in here. Here's the brake pad material right here. The width of my screwdriver. Here's the brake pad material on the outside. Look at how much is burned away. It should be this thick here. It's not, and I'm going to tell you why. No brake service. So the outer pad has been getting stuck in these grooves. There's no lubrication left at all. See that? See that shiny? That means the pad's getting stuck in the saddle. And on the bottom, it's shiny. See the shininess on right here where my finger is. See the shiny? It's been getting stuck. So the push-pull, the pad's getting pulled in that way as this one's being squeezed and pushed, and it's not releasing when you let off the brake pedal. So it's been dragging and burning pad material. So half the pad is gone. So let's pull the other side out. I mean, you can do a caliper service here, and you could burn off some more brake pads, and then, end up doing a brake job. So here's a case where you can call it and say, you know what? Look, half the pad is gone. Almost half. I'm going to say 2/3. That could be half. So quite a bit of difference. That's because there's no lube left on the heel and the toe of the pads, and there's no lubrication here. Nothing. There's nothing there. Just brake dust. So that's what's caused that outer pad to prematurely wear. So that's the one that's going to be burned away long before this one. The outer one is going to be the pad that decides it's time for a brake job. So what we would do in this case is clean these channels out. And then apply some lubrication. You can use Sil Glide, you can use anti-seize, and just put a little blob in there and a little blob in there. And then we come to the brake pad and we do the same thing. I just take my Whizzy wheel here. I clean the bottom. I clean the side. That's all I do. Just clean that off. Clean that off. Clean that off here. So 4 points. You want to clean it all the way around. And I can tell you right now, because there's still lube on the back of this pad, this brake job's maybe 8,000 kilometers old. At the most, maybe 10. 2 oil changes. So then I put a little lube on the heel and the toe of the pad. That's all I need to do, because that's the area that slides when it's in the channel. That's the areas that need some lube on. You don't need to put a 1/4 inch of this stuff on there, fellas. A little bit is all you need, because you're going to be back here in about 6 months and do another brake inspection. There you go. See how easy that moves? There's your answer. That's the difference. Go back to the chart. 25,000 a brake job, or 119,000 for one brake job, or 5 brake jobs every 25,000 kilometers. That's it. Then I take the pin. Again, you can use Sil Glide or anti-seize. Put some on the threads. You just cleaned all this. Put some on the pins. And put the pins back in. Put the caliper back down. Make sure that you also put some lube in here where the pins go into. And now put it back together. That's it. Do the same to the other pad. Slap it in there. Do the same to the other pin. Put it in, and then you're ready to bring the caliper back down. So we might as well just show you how we're going to do it here real quick. These are in really good shape, so doing a brake service is a treat because nothing's rusty. That's why I say this brake job is not that old. The paint is still on the rotors. So you can still get a decent amount of mileage out of this. Or you could decide, you know what, I'll just do another brake job and carry on. Start at 0. But there still is enough material here to keep you going for, well, it depends on how aggressive driver. It's all in driving habits. This pad, even though it's half gone, I could probably still get almost 18 months out of a brake job. Hey, the leaves. How about those leaves, Eddie? How about those leaves? Okay. And you would also put some lube in there on the back side. Now you put that in. I'm going to go ahead and do a full brake job back here. So I'm just showing you what a maintenance would look like. And you could get away with this very easily. Bring the caliper back down. You don't even need to squeeze it together. And we got a backing plate that's gone, and that isn't on the list either. So you got to be careful who you're dealing with. So now the caliper's there. This one's your upper pin's got the clip on. Just get that in there. Well, it's got to line it up, right? You got to line it up. That's what I'm telling you. Come on, get in there, you furry varmint. There we go. It's going to go in now. Make sure you don't tear the boot. That's it. All right, you're being a varmint. Sometimes it's difficult. being me. Come on, would you? Would you? Could you? Should you? I think you should get in there. I've never seen it where the flex hose is so stinking close. But you got to get this baby in there. There we go. It's all in how you hold your tongue. That's what my former boss would say. And then the bottom pin, in you go. Tighten those up. I didn't take the saddles off, but I wanted to show you how you do that. 2 bolts. Take the caliper off, take the saddle off. But in this case where you have the stainless steel inserts, it makes it really easy for putting new ones in and also cleaning them and doing a service. So that's it. That's all we have to do. Tighten the bolts up, retighten the saddle bolts, and bolt the wheel back on, and we're good to go. That's a caliper service. That's how easy that is, and that's going to save you a lot of money in not having to have brake jobs done sooner than later. So remember that chart. Go back to it in the video. A brake job every 25,000 kilometers or 1 brake job every 119,000 kilometers. How about that for a recipe for success, saving time and money? Thanks for stopping by. Now you get to do the other side. I'll go have a hot cup of coffee and a snack. So don't forget to like, share, and follow on Facebook, Niall Motormouth Jenkins. And there's videos and reels there you won't see anywhere else. Be sure to like, share, comment your comments down below. Subscribe and watch the videos for Pete's sake. And hit the notification bell so that what? You know when we go live streaming and when the next videos get loaded up to our channel. Get your Car Connection merchandise. Got one of these? You should. Go to our website at carconnectionbusinessnetwork.com. Click on the store tab at the top. On the home page in the right hand corner, you'll see the YouTube logo, Facebook logo, and a tab that says store. Check out our Car Connection merchandise store. It's pretty cool. There's 6 items there, $5 above cost. Help Skippy and I stay in donuts this winter. We're stockpiling donuts for winter 2025-26. And see us and catch us at Stevensville on the web.ca. Click on the businesses tab and you'll see bloopers and outtakes posted there you won't see anywhere else. And did I forget something? Yes. Check out our recommended businesses and our radio program sponsors on our Car Connection Business Network website. Businesses, local businesses, small and medium, that you can connect with and feel good about it because they have my stamp of approval on, and let them know that Motormouth sent you. See you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. If you enjoyed the video, like I know you did, ring the notification bell.
Well, thank you for stopping by the Car Connection Workshop right here on YouTube. Don't forget to come back and join us for another segment. So like, share, tag, and follow, and ding that bell so that you don't miss a single edition of Car Connection. So till next time, keep it under 100 and put the coffee on because we're coming to your house.